now.
All right, so howdy, my name is Willingham. I am working with DreamP along with everyone else who's presenting with me today. We are with Texas A&M University and we are working on the city of Nolanville. So who is DreamP? Well, first of all, let's establish what is DreamP. DreamP stands for a pedestrian's dream. And so basically that's what we're aiming to achieve with the city of Nolanville. Right now, the Nolanville's conditions today in terms of pedestrian friendliness are not the most ideal. There have been efforts recently to increase some of that pedestrian friendliness in order to promote walkability within the city, and that's great to see. But our goal and dream for the city of Nolanville is to create a smart and walkable future for Nolanville with a with a strong sense of identity. So that's our big vision for the city of Nolanville.
I'm Phillip McAughan, and I was on the website team. So our solution and our proposal was a one-stop website that would have all sorts of policy proposals and recommendations for the government officials to draw upon when working.
I'm Mariana Martinez, and also as part of the website development team, we wanted to make sure that we included different resources for the residents of Nolanville to be able to further see the development as it evolved, as this will be a living database that could continue to be used afterwards when proposing this project through different proposals. A museum concept as well as walk score analysis and heat maps.
And so part of this is included is a design guideline. So in this case, a design guideline is a set of design recommendations that aim to accomplish a sort of particular goal. And so in the case of Nolanville, a design guideline can be useful because it can help the community stakeholders, developers, and then residents as well kind of understand what the community needs and or requires in order to be a bit more walkable and to move away from auto dependence as it is now. And so within our design guidelines, we have kind of guidelines as you can tell, and or kind of more specifically code related to accessibility, pedestrian experience, city and building design, community identity, and then also kind of like a section we've entitled Downtown Nolanville. Overall, we kind of hope that over time, aspects of this design guideline or code are adopted by the city, and developers also adhere to these particular guidelines in order kind of to promote the walkability and kind of anti-auto dependence that we're striving for.
Hi, my name is Cyndi, and I worked on the map design for Nolanville. This is our circulation plan that we made to monitor traffic and pedestrian patterns for future improvements. We currently improvise some existing roads. As you can see, the black line is the main road, which we have for higher speed traffic. Alongside is the blue roads, which is our collector roads, which is made for lower density to provide more access into the residential areas. We also have our purple roads, which lead into the residential areas and are made to be more pedestrian-oriented transportation and improve walkability. And we also have our shared use paths along the main road and the rivers, so that it's easier for people to walk around. Our proposed plan for each circulation has its own purpose, and we also added new trails and sidewalks. For our land use plan, we showed the original zoning plan and as well as what we plan to propose. We just have a list of the legend, and on the next slide, we have a clear view of what our map looks like. So as you can see, our red is the commercial area, which we have lined alongside the highway to promote future businesses. We also have industrial areas, which is the gray area, which we have kept farther away from the main residential areas. We also have open space and parks, which we have lined along the rivers to preserve the natural habitats. We also have suburban residential areas for families and it's our way to promote more walkability. We also have Old Town residential areas where we want to preserve the historic buildings of Nolanville. And we also have our downtown mixed use, which is going to be our most dense area and what we'll be focused on for walkability. And we also have retail, office, and light commercial as the peach, which is going to be just towards the center.
Hi, I'm Agustin. I'm part of the landscape team. One of the ideas that we incorporated to better improve the walkability of the Nolanville was to provide places and destinations to go. And here's a map of possible areas where we could implement some of those ideas.
Hi, my name is Arexy Deleon. I'm also part of the landscape team. So some of our design concepts for the streetscapes is to improve the visualization of crosswalks, to reduce pedestrian accidents, and to promote community personality to the area. A couple of other things is to propose more street trees to provide shade and seating as well, to give pedestrians a better experience.
Adding to what Arexy said, us providing more crosswalks, larger sidewalks, street trees, lighting will better improve the pedestrian experience and promote active living for the residents and visitors. One more thing that we would like to incorporate in Nolanville is wayfinding, so that people, visitors, residents can know where to go and where they're at and what activities to go to and where to locate them. And
we're also planning to incorporate smart wayfinding and signage for the future, so that way we can strive for a smart city, and this includes signage that is technological and is powered by solar panels as well. So here's one of our site plans and concepts that we are providing. So this site is east of the downtown area on East Avenue H, and this will provide residents and visitors a place to visit and promotes walkability through that. This site promotes community identity by implementing Adopt a Brick and Adopt a Bench throughout the site. And we have also provided a shaded plaza, amphitheater, seating area, and a memorial plaza and a nature trail walk to the site where people can enjoy the outdoor space and spend more time in the downtown area of Nolanville. So these site sections just show how the building is transitioned into the memorial plaza. So we have provided plenty of shade, seating area, vegetation, and it is ADA accessible all the way throughout the site.
here, you can see the Memorial Museum and the library as you walk.
So this, as he mentioned, has the wayfinding and the Adopt a Brick pathway, and the overhead provides shade to the site, and it is what you see as soon as you enter the site itself. And then as we lead towards the amphitheater, you're able to sit down and view the entire area in the shaded position. So you can see the Adopt a Brick pathway, gravel seating area, and including the activity lawn. And then here we have the Adopt a Brick pathway that leads to the Memorial Monument. And around the area, we have limestone block seating and bollard lighting with outlets, so you can charge your phone and relax, spend your time there. And then here is a view of the Memorial Plaza itself. So it's surrounded by limestone block seating as well. And in the back, we have provided a nature trail walk and Adopt a Brick as well.
Hello, I'm Peter Marchetti, and I'm a part of the data analysis team. One of the goals we set at the beginning of the semester was to determine which features are the most detrimental to the walk scores of Nolanville. We wanted to be able to bring these to the attention of the Nolanville city officials so they could try to make some changes. This will serve as well as proof of concept to interdisciplinary proposal on future land use. So what is a walk score? A walk score measures how feasible and desirable walking to different destinations is from one location to another. In Nolanville, this is really important that they are improved because most people of all mobilities and economic statuses are able to access jobs, shopping, and leisure. Cities designed solely for vehicles inhibit this goal. Our walk scores were calculated using several of the existing features and statistics that exist in Nolanville. On a scale of 1 to 100, 100 obviously being the best, these scores reflect how suitable a town is for walkability.
So our walkability analysis was broken up into 4 different steps. Step 1 was the partitioning of Nolanville into 36 separate regions, which we would then analyze in our analysis. Step 2 was then assigning each of these regions its own separate walk score, which was calculated by our civil planning and civil engineering majors. Step 3 was actually then to use these 10 different features and calculate their values in each of these regions. And these 10 features were aggregated using our interdisciplinary team, which would reflect the most, or what we believe to be the most influential aspects to walkability. Step 4 was then using the data we collected in order to create a multivariate regression algorithm, which we could then use to predict walkability as a proof of concept. And as you can see in the bottom left, that's a graph of tree canopy percentage along roads compared to walk score. As you can see, most of Nolanville lacks a strong tree canopy percentage in any of the regions we used. And we can see that also has a strong correlation to a low walk score. This is a heat map of our data we collected. This was made through relative colors. The highest score we found was a 23, which is shown in dark green here. And the lowest we found was a 1, and which is shown in red, or dark red. And our walkability analysis results, we found that we got a Pearson correlation of 0.68, which points to a correlation between the features we collected and the walk scores that we also calculated. Some of the findings we had is that agricultural land use is not a good predictor actually of walkability. This may be due to how we collected it or how we calculated how much land use was due to agriculture, which included empty space, also due to how prevalent it is in Nolanville. The best correlation between walk score and our features was found using commercial land use, land dedicated to parks, and the number of blocks spanning sidewalks, which we found to best demonstrate a strong positive correlation. Features that we found to have a negative effect on walk score, however, were mobile home land use and industrial land use. And we can see that to the right on our bar graph we see, which we show that in a ascending order, the effect of increasing land use of that certain type on walk score.
All right, so DreamP's future for Nolanville, a walkable future, a pedestrian's dream. So essentially what we've just presented to you with this whole presentation is showing you what's going to be inside this website. And so a one-stop website, we want to include, of course, all that empirical data that we've just presented, all of those renderings that you've seen that could be potentially in the future seen in Nolanville, the design code that would make that, that future possible, and the land use map, which would determine the circulation and the types of land usages across the city. So this is, of course, a living and evolving database, and we want to make sure that as the needs of Nolanville change and as we learn more about Nolanville, we want to be able to change what's inside the website and what kind of codes or renderings or analysis that we want to make sure this document is always being updated to meet the needs of Nolanville, and hopefully, we expect that in the future, the city of Nolanville will be able to adopt and implement these items. So we thank you for listening to us today. Are there any questions?